Hi, you guys, and welcome back to Jewell's Gems. This week we have a wide variety of rare gems that we will be discussing. However, before I jump into those topics, I want to actually address two questions that have come to me within the past week since the last video that I posted. And I'm also of the belief that if one person has posed the question to me, that others are questioning the same thing, they just have not come out and said it. So let me go ahead and address it. First question is, do I have clothes on? And the answer to that question is yes, I do. I wear a half, an off the shoulder shirt, if you will. It is intentional. And by intentional, it's not to be confused with being calculated, but intentional meaning it's done on purpose, it's deliberate, right? When I first started doing these videos, and I say when I first started doing these videos like I've been doing these shits for a year, but when I first started doing these videos, the intention behind it is that I become more comfortable, right? And in speaking to an audience, big or small, no matter what. And my thought process behind becoming comfortable, right, is to give this illusion, if you will, of being bare. I'm coming as my authentic self, right? And so in order for me to achieve that without me being like completely naked, I am choosing to wear a off the shoulder shirt that gives the illusion that I don't have clothes on, but I do. Again, most of the things that I do is intentional. Again, not to be confused with calculated. Calculated to me means that there is some manipulation behind it. Not that I don't do some calculated things, but for the most part, most things that I do is intentional. Okay. The second question comes from my lovely grandma who actually watches these videos, which I think is dope as hell. Is she wanted to know what these eyes are about. So one of the videos that I posted before, nothing I do always falls in line or of the belief of what things are formally known for, right? So formally, these eyes is considered an evil eye. I don't necessarily consider them an evil eye. An evil eye, just for those who don't know, which I do recommend you Google it. Evil eye does not mean bad, does not mean something demonic, if you will, because I know that some people have that assumption. Is actually something that is very protective. And so that's actually how I view this. I don't consider the eye an evil eye, or I don't classify these eyes as evil eyes. I do classify them as my third eye. And if you notice, I haphazardly did a cross. It is the equivalent to a cross to me. So because it's just my son and I intentionally wanted these eyes to be protections, if you will. I have my front eyes, but then I have these eyes behind me, right? It's like the saying goes, I have two eyes in front of me and an eye behind me, which is the equivalent to your third eye. Okay. Also, these eyes that I see or view as a form of protection is, again, the equivalent to a cross. It's the equivalent to a rosary, if you will, to put things in perspective to people. So my papa gave me a cross, and I have the cross in my car that I ride with as a form of protection, right? In addition to the cross, I also have feathers that my son and I have found as we wherever we are. If we see a feather and notice a feather in our walkway, we pick it up, we acknowledge it, and we collect them. So I have feathers in my house, I have feathers in my car, and they're just a form of, to me, as a way of me acknowledging spirit is with me. And by spirit, I'm talking about God. I'm talking about my angels, my spirit guides, Holy Spirit, however you want to identify it as a source of protection in a physical way. So I hope that clears everything up. So I have a host of topics that we're going to talk about this week. This week has kind of been a slow week, but an interesting week. As you know, I live in Texas, and we have, I'm going to speak for myself because I know that there are a lot of people that are still without electricity and water, and my heart, it goes out to them. I just got hot water 2 or 3 days ago. So I've been going between my sister's and my ex-husband's house. For those who don't know, me and my ex-husband are like BFFs. It works out. We have a great co-parenting relationship. So it is nothing for me to stay the night at his house for whatever reason. And he stayed the night over here for whatever reason. It works perfect for my son and I. Oh, just because we're great co-parenting does not mean or don't get under this assumption that we're fucking around, because we're not. We literally are like just the best of friends as we were before we entered a relationship. So it works out. But yeah, Texas is still under trifling leadership. Just found out that had these ERCOT people not actually do or perform the rolling blackouts, in less than 5 minutes, the entire electrical grid would have blew up, and we would have been without lights, power, if you will, which then equates to running water for weeks, if not months. So again, fuck you, all the Republicans. There is ain't no in between. So shout out to that. Earlier this week, Bobby Shmurda about a week ago, that young man was released from prison, right? Now, according to YBF, he was released from prison, a get out of jail early card because of good behavior, and also due to the pandemic, right? Because not only is the pandemic affecting those of us out here, it's also affecting and impacting those that we really too often forget about. That's people in nursing homes, and also people in juvenile detention and prisons. Okay. So it's been this big deal that he's been released from prison. He's been behind bars since December 2014, and he was in prison because he let me read this. He copped a plea in September 2016 to conspiracy to commit murder, reckless endangerment, drug and gun possession, and more. Bobby Shmurda and a group of his friends were charged in a 69-count indictment. Okay. He went to prison due to conspiracy, which, however, he actually would not have even been charged for this had he not made a song about events in a crime that was actually committed. Conspiracy is, and don't quote me on this, but just my understanding of what conspiracy is that prosecutors don't need like hard evidence, as long as they can come up with like this plot or story, if you will, that suggests that you were involved in a crime. Sounds fucking absurd, right? Because what? Okay. But that's neither here nor there, right? So I posed a question earlier this week because I had never seen so many motherfucking people like go up for Bobby Shmurda in the past, however long he's been locked up. But people, everybody and their mom was like posting like, yay, Bobby Shmurda is out of jail, and like just going up for this man. He only has one song that I'm aware of. Now, mind you, my word as it relates to modern day music don't mean shit because I just don't. I don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to music, hip hop music, music in general, probably in the modern day. And I say modern day like I'm just this old ass woman, but you know, you catch the drift. But I ain't never heard nobody just go like just bumping Bobby Shmurda music like that nigga was Tupac or Biggie or Nas or like. I'm confused, right? So I don't listen to the radio, but someone made a post and was like, one of our local radio stations was just blasting Bobby Shmurda music all day, right? And it's only so much, it's only so much you can do that dance to, right? So then I went on social media, specifically Instagram, and it was just like so many congratulatory posts about this man being free. And it's just like, okay. On one hand, I get why people, his close family and friends, are excited that he's free. But like, why are the rest of y'all so fucking excited? And I say that with pause because I don't want to seem like I'm just this inconsiderate ass bitch just like you just not happy for somebody being free. Like, I'm happy he's free, but like, did we even give a fuck about this nigga before he was free? Like, help me understand. I posed a question. Not a lot of people was giving me any explanation as to why this nigga, why everybody was so happy, right? I'm just trying to get some understanding. Okay. Anyways, enough about Bobby Shmurda, because, I'm happy the man's back from home. I mean, out of prison. Am I happy? I don't know, because I don't care. I don't know, because I don't care. The next topic is going to be about Dr. Fauci visiting or being interviewed by The View. And this is specifically in regards to Meghan McCain. Now, I have tried to like this woman. Like, when I say try, I'm talking about like hard try. I even follow her on Instagram. Like, I think outside of politics, I thought I would like her. She's a lunatic, okay? And I say that as disrespectful as I possibly can be. She is the image of a spoiled fucking brat. With her even being over 35 years old. Like, it's so unbecoming. I don't know. The brattiness. It's annoying, right? Okay. So Dr. Fauci went on The View and he was being interviewed by the panel of brilliant women. And one of those women who is not as brilliant was Meghan McCain. And Meghan McCain, according to Love B. Scott, was slammed over COVID-19 vaccine distribution complaints, right? So she actually made the statement that President Joe Biden should replace Dr. Fauci, who is an infectious disease expert and has been for decades across all different presidents, right? Not just Democrats, but also Republican, right? With someone who does understand science. I find in any time there is something that is bad, if you will, I try to find the silver lining in that circumstance, right? So, do I fall within the category of being an older person? No. Do I fall in the category of someone with major health conditions? No. I would like to believe that because I don't fall in that category, as long as I'm able to wear a mask to continue to not only protect myself, but everyone else that comes in contact with me, that I'm actually still doing far better than those who fall within the category of those who are eligible to receiving the vaccine right now, right? Meghan McCain's complaint, and this was a complaint that she had even when she was pregnant, is she can't go to the store and pick out her bassinet or her, she can't do normal things. Nobody told her that she can't not do those things. I maneuver just fine in this world wearing a fucking mask. Okay? I get to do everything that I normally do, just with the addition of wearing a mask. This woman is so used to being not inconvenienced that she doesn't even realize how stupid she fucking sounds. You cannot expect, even with Dr. Fauci having all of the decades of experience that he has under his belt, that he is supposed to know, innately know, out of no fucking know, just out of air, how this fucking disease mutates, how we as humans are supposed to navigate with this disease that's not really been, they're not familiar with. They're familiar with certain aspects of the disease, but not the magnitude of what this disease is, and then add on the different new mutations that this fucking disease is forming into. You don't have no authority to recommend to President Joe Biden. Okay, it feels good to actually say president with someone's name other than T. Shiesty, because baby, I could never fix my face to say like, okay. You don't have no authority to try to give recommendations of who should be fired and who shouldn't be fired, because you don't understand how to just go with the flow until we are able to go back to some sense of normalcy. If you want to have a fucking dinner party with your family, get all them hoes lined up at your house with masks on. Ain't nobody telling you to live in the way that you call yourself living without having a mask on. Like, just wear a mask, right? Now, granted, the shit is inconvenient. I ain't gonna lie to you. Tired of wearing a fucking mask. If that's what we have to do for the government to figure out, because fuck the states. If that's what we have to do until the federal government can figure out how to get this shit back to some sense of normalcy, until everyone can get vaccinated. And just so we're clear, just because you get vaccinated doesn't mean you just stop wearing the mask. No, you still wear the mask. Even though you get vaccinated, you should still wear the mask, but just because you get vaccinated doesn't mean it's a cure. The vaccine is just a vaccine. It's not a cure for coronavirus, just like the flu is not a cure for the flu. Okay? So, just so we're clear on that. Okay? So the last rare gem for today is going to be about The Bachelor. Now, I have never watched this show. I have no intentions on watching it. Maybe. Once I get to that topic, I'll tell you why maybe. But I don't like playing games. I don't like competition. You know, I use my brain cells Monday through Friday morning. Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. I'm analyzing and figuring out the logistics at work. So anytime I am unplugged from work, I don't want to think. If that shit don't come easy, I'm not playing it. Hence the reason why I don't like playing spades, because I feel like that shit is fucking difficult. Don't come in my comments talking about you revoking a black card. Girl, I don't give a damn. I'm still black. I'm blackity black, okay? Anywho, but today's topic is about The Bachelor. So, The Bachelor, the show, has been under a lot of heat here recently in the past couple of weeks. And it is in regards to one of the contestants. Her name is Rachel Kirkconnell, who is, again, a current contestant, who is a contestant for the first Black Bachelor. And by black, we don't mean this. We mean he black like this. But black, if you will, nevertheless. Okay? Because she has had some recent or some posts previously before and comments resurface as it relates to racist behavior. Now, I'm not saying all white people is racist. However, some of those racist posts is her attending an antebellum South themed party. Anywho, so because these new findings have been come up to play, Rachel Lindsay, not to be confused with the white woman who is under whose racism has been brought to the community's knowledge. Rachel Lindsay is actually the first Black Bachelorette in the franchise, and I believe this franchise has been in existence for over 15 years. I really want to say, or 15 seasons, if not 15 years. Either way, she's the first black woman. And then 3 years later, we have now the first Black Bachelor. So, because of all of these things that have resurfaced in regards to racism and The Bachelor, the host, who is no longer the host, the former host, whose name is Chris Harrison, and I'm getting this off of Love B. Scott, who Chris Harrison is 49 years old. Okay. Rachel Lindsay, again, the first Black Bachelorette from a couple of years ago, interviewed the now former, and by former, like 2 weeks former, Chris Harrison, in regards to these new findings that have come out in regards to the contestant, Rachel, who is a contestant under the first Black KK, that's you calling me. The first Black Bachelor, right? And so he said in the interview, people should have a little grace, a little understanding, a little compassion. This 49-year-old white man said in the year of 2021, as it relates to Rachel Kirkconnell's racist behavior, that we should have a little grace, a little understanding, a little compassion. Is that right? That's why his ass ain't no longer got a job. White people ask so much of Black people. The very thing that they ask so much of us of, they don't give it to us in return. Where is y'all's compassion? Where is y'all's grace? Where is y'all understanding? Until y'all find grace, compassion, and understanding as it relates to Black people and their Black ass lives, then fuck your grace, understanding, and compassion. Because of this, Rachel Lindsay, who is actually the person who interviewed the former host of The Bachelor, Chris Harrison, she actually has deleted her Instagram because the Bachelor fans have been spamming the fuck out of her fucking account. Okay? So Van Latham, who I follow on Instagram, he made a public statement, and rightfully so. He says Rachel is not responsible for Chris Harrison, a 49-year-old man who can't read the room in these 2021 times. She's not responsible for that. It's not her job to make excuses or provide cover for somebody who doesn't understand what the fuck triggers people in today's world. It's not. You're going after the wrong person. He then went on to say, y'all got to get a fucking life seriously. First of all, I'm not sure who and why people feel the need to spam Rachel Lindsay's posts in regards to Chris Harrison's comments when he's the one who made the comments. Like, I think that is why, and you know what? Let me just say this. To anybody who hears the sound of my voice, I think it's extremely important that we stop coddling people's feelings. And by coddling, I'm not saying be disrespectful. I'm not saying to be uncouth. Okay? I'm not saying to have no tact. But what I am saying is, in the day of 2021 and moving forward, y'all better start calling the thing a motherfucking thing. I don't care about nobody's feelings, because for however many years it's been, y'all's asses have been able to walk and navigate this world. And by y'all, I'm talking about white people. You all have been able to walk and navigate this world. And again, it speaks to also Meghan McCain's funky ass. Walk and navigate this world as you all see fit. No matter if when you're walking and navigating this world, if you're stepping on the necks of other people, that is unacceptable. And it's no longer tolerable. You benefit from systems that oppress people, right? Like someone said, it's not enough to be not racist. You need to be anti-racist. And it is extremely important that, and when I say I don't give a fuck who you are, I mean I do not give a fuck who you are or who that person is in your life. you better hold their asses accountable. Make them uncomfortable. Stop making yourself small to appease them. Because for so many fucking centuries, that is what they've grown accustomed to. Now, the silver lining in this is that there's been a new host that's been announced. And again, I don't watch The Bachelor. However, I may have to reconsider it because Emmanuel Acho is now the new host. And when I say he fine, I'm like, he like super fine. Like, super fine. He's going to be the new host. He was just announced. So I get where The Bachelor is coming from, right? They're trying to be pro-black. They asses is 15, 20 years late. But okay. Like majority of these organizations, but you know. Okay. I might be here for Emmanuel Acho. Oh, and did y'all hear about the Lady Gaga dog kidnapping? I've seen more posts about the fucking dogs rather than the dog walker who was shot. Like, what the fuck is the status of the damn dog walker? Like, why are we so fucking consumed with the goddamn dogs that we just ignore or just, oh, the dog walker is in what the fuck condition is the dog walker in? I was so tired of seeing that this week. Between Bobby Shmurda and them goddamn dogs, I was just like, it's another slow week. Okay. Another slow week. Okay. So anyways, you guys, thank you for joining me on this week's Rare Gems. It's everywhere. And I appreciate you joining me for the ride. Thank you so much and see you next week. Bye, you guys.